Oh my god, I just... See, that was all me right there. That's why this build is so fucking good. That was me, not any of my pets, with the primary skill. Hey guys, what's going on? A Button Games here, back on Diablo 3. First thing to note is, hopefully you guys can tell, I have a new mic, which is really nice. It means you guys are going to hear my annoying voice in more crystal clear quality. No, what it really means is just going to make it easier for me to record and make videos, because my old mic would just cut out at random times. I'd have to redo some stuff. I'd have to kind of fill some stuff in. It would just completely crack out when I would talk loud, which is really annoying because, you know, it does add to the emotion of the game. You know, when I'm playing and you see something that would piss you off and I'm not allowed to show that I'm pissed off, I just have to kind of be like, yeah, well, that fucking sucks. That's because I couldn't really talk louder than a whispering voice, really, towards my other mic, or else it would absolutely crack. So what we're going to talk about today is I'm going to go over a little bit of how to increase the survivability of the Witch Doctor. They're squishy as hell, but there is a way to get it up just a little bit. Then I'm going to talk about a good gem to use for the Witch Doctor that will increase survivability and increase damage output, assuming you're doing the Poison Dart build. If you're not, don't kind of disregard that. And then the last thing I'm going to kind of go over is just maybe a little bit of my gear, maybe go a little bit more in depth with the build, and how it all works and things like that, and kind of show you guys that it is actually a very effective build. Not very many people use this build, but it is a highly effective build. So if you guys stick with me to the end of the video, I'm sure you guys can learn something. So thanks, and let's get started. Alright guys, so the first thing I kind of want to talk about here is area damage. Now, not a lot of people... I guess I don't want to say not a lot of people know about area damage, but maybe not a lot of people know that it is incredibly useful, or functionality-wise, how to get the most use out of it. So I'm just going to kind of show you guys, just in case you're not 100% aware of what area damage is. So that is in the little utility section, I guess, is what it kind of looks like. Oh, utility, yep. Utility section of Paragon. And it's this thing right here. So when you put it up to 50, obviously you're going to get 50%. It's 1% per point. Now, what area damage does is, whoops, I know what I'm doing. If you go to your character and you go to area damage, I'll say right here, all attacks have a 20% chance to also deal 42% of the damage to enemies within 10 yards. Now, that is actually a lot of damage, especially because the damage dealt can be increased by items, so you can kind of roll and put area damage on some of your items and things like that, and that will drastically increase your damage output. Now, how it works is kind of, I don't know if it works on everyone's attacks or just yours. So like, for example, I don't think it works on my fetishes. If it does, that's ridiculously OP, but what I do know is that a key thing for this build is to attack very quickly and hit a lot of people at once, and area damage really makes that super easy, because I attack, you know, super fast because I got a lot of attack speed stacked. I got the Gogok of Swiftness on as one of my gems, so once I get going, I'm attacking really fast, and you can see it go off. You know, I hit guys for 3, 4, 5 billion damage, and the next thing you know, I'm doing basically half that to that guy and then everyone else all around it. And you know, if I'm hitting those guys, it could also be triggering for those guys. So it's really cool, and it does add a lot. And as far as, in my opinion, I don't really think there's anything else really worth getting in the utility. Now, obviously, for this class, resource cost reduction can be a huge need for some other builds, like I know some wizard builds, things like that. There's probably a witch doctor build that would use that, but for me, I just like to let my pets do all the work because, you know, I'm lazy. The next thing I kind of want to discuss is, actually, you know, let's just go into like a rift or something, so we're not just walking around town. Open the damn rift, Oric. Do. Let's go.
Enemies of the Nephilim surround you.
Surrounded? Where? Ooh. Yeah, right. So, oh shit. Frickin' cat, calm down, man. Jesus. I'm gonna feed you. Calm down. God, my cat's losing his mind over here. So the next thing I kind of want to talk about is the gem that really increased my survivability in this game, and that is Simplicity Strength. Now, Simplicity Strength increased the damage of primary skills by X%, and then once you reach level 25 with it, your hits with primary abilities heal you for 4% of your maximum health. Now, again, a major component to this build is hitting people a lot with poison darts. That's a primary skill. that really does heal you a lot, because my darts pierce, and I'm attacking very fast. So I could hit, you know, 5, 6, 7 people at once, and 4%, 4%, 4%. You know, my health can go from nothing and just shoot straight back up if I get a pretty good dart off. So I would say that's definitely worth it. Plus, the increase in primary damage is definitely really good. And let's see here. All right. Another really important facet of this build that maybe a lot of people don't use or know about, as you see, I just hit that guy for 5 billion damage, that maybe a lot of people don't use or know about is Haunt.
I'm carrying too much.
You definitely want... Motherfucker, are you really full? God damn it. We'll hop back to town here in a second after I kill all these guys. Now, Haunt, like I said. So, what I'm using for Haunt is... Here's Haunt. What you really want is Poison Spirits. Haunted enemies take more damage from your attacks. Now, I don't know the exact percentage of increased damage that they take, or what, but I will tell you that it makes a massive difference in damage that I do. So it's definitely worth using. Hello. Everyone's dropping fucking legendaries. Okay. So we are going to hop back to town, and we're going to drop some stuff off here so we can come back and pick this shit up. I'll be right back, guys. Alright, we're back. Now we can actually pick some of this shit up these guys. What? I thought I killed you. No, let's bet another one. So, where the hell even was I? Crossbow. This. Got some boots, it looks like. Not that I need those. What was I talking about? I was talking about Simplicity, Strength, and Haunt, right? So Haunt, I don't know the exact percentage that Haunt increases your damage by, but I do know that it does make a huge difference. I have noticed it makes a big difference. So, if you're realizing that, you know, you're watching, you have my build mimics, but you can't exactly figure out why maybe I'm doing like a few billion damage or something to these guys every now and then, and you're not. Like right there, you know, 3-4 billion damage. It's probably because of Haunt. And Haunt is just fucking awesome in this game. Really cool. Get trucked. Alright, so the next thing that I want to discuss is, well, I kind of already showed you guys my Paragon points, so I don't really think that's necessary, but a basic thing that you want to do in this game for most builds is to kind of max out your movement speed. Your boots are most likely going to have a movement speed on them, so let me just run through all these guys right quick. What the fucking meteor, man? Get out of here. Hey, don't be doing that. Don't be pulling me in. Don't be pulling me in. So as you saw right there, I was pretty low in health. It just kind of shot back up, so that's always nice. Alright. The hell is this? Oh, crossbow. Right. Whatever. Your projectiles pierce an additional 1 time. Okay. Blackthorns? Blackthorns? Blackthorns. Don't need those. Okay. So. Paragon. Well. Boots. My boots give me 12% movement speed. As far as I know, the cap is 25%. So, my basic thing that I've always been doing is kind of putting points into movement speed in Paragon until you get up to 25%. Your Paragon levels go so damn high in this game that it's really worth it to just get that up to 25%, since it does make a huge difference in survivability. Being able to get up to these guys or get away from these guys as quickly as possible is sometimes the difference between life and death in this game. So I would definitely recommend doing that if you haven't already. Now, I guess I'll go a little bit into my build in case some of you guys don't know a lot about this build. So, this build is kind of it's called like the poison dart build. And, you know, I'm not spitting poison darts, but as you notice, my fetishes are spitting poison darts, but they're not the poison dart fetishes. And as you see, it does a lot of damage. It did almost 2.7 billion damage to that guy. So the main purpose of this build is your fetishes will do a lot of damage with you from far back. You can kind of chill back and just deal massive damage to people's in rows, in columns, because they all pierce and stuff like that. So how this build works is kind of similar to my monk build in that it does really require just about every piece of this build in order for it to be effective. And of course, you need the Zuni mask stuff on. You know, you need the 6-up bonus. As you see, I'm missing the head and the wraps. That's for obvious reasons. The head, you need Carnival. Carnival, the 5 fetishes closest to you will shoot a powerful poison dart every time you do. That's where just all the damage comes from. That's where you see the 3, 4, 5 billion damage come from. That's one of my fetishes shooting a powerful poison dart sitting kind of next to me. And it's 5 closest, which is the key. It doesn't say the 5 fetishes within 10 yards. It's the 5 closest, so they could be super far away. And if I use this, if I start shooting, they're going to stop and they're just going to shoot. The next thing you really, really need for this build is... What the hell? What am I doing? Oh, right. You need the Taskers of Theo. Increase the attack speed of your pets by 50%. Now, obviously, that's not going to help with the ones that are shooting the darts, because they only shoot when I do. That's where my attack speed comes in. But for this to be kind of add to the build is all the other fetishes that I have out, all of the 10 or 15 of them, are just going to be attacking insanely fast. That's going to increase their damage by at least 50%. You're talking, if half of those are criticals, the amount of damage you gain from a 50% increase in attack speed, it's tremendous. It's so much more than anything else you could put on the hands, so trust me, don't do anything else with the hands. Taskers of Theo, it's made for these guys. Just use it. Now, Belt of Transcendence. This one's very interesting. You summon a fetish sycophant when you hit with a mana spender. Now, as you know, I use Haunt like a motherfucker. So Haunt is a mana spender. Every time I hit someone with that, it's going to summon another fetish sycophant. Now, of course, it caps, but the good news is that from what I've noticed, when I hit people with it, it does not kill one of them off and summon another one. They just stay, and then when one of them dies, next time I hit someone, then it will summon it. So it doesn't just keep recycling them, because then it would get kind of annoying with the one shooting darts would constantly be disappearing. But I have not noticed that being the case, so you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but it certainly doesn't seem to be affecting me. And then for the cube, of course, you need the Dagger of Darts. Your poison darts and your fetish's poison darts now pierce. So that includes the ones that shoot based on Carnival, and that include mine. That means I can just go through rows of enemies with me and my fetishes, and we can just hit all of them, and it just pierces all of them. And that's kind of where Simplicity's strength really does get its strength, is if I'm hitting all those people over and over and over again, I'm getting 4%, 4%, 4%. So, yeah, I mean, it kind of explains itself a little bit. Mask of Jiram. Obviously, right? I mean, I don't need to tell you guys this. Pets deal 100% increased damage. That's everything. That's life for the Witch Doctor. That is life. Mask of Jiram is life. It's happiness, so use it. And then you need the Ring of the Royal Grandeur for this build, simply because you need to have the Zuni Mask stuff on in order to have the offset items be usable. So like Taskers of Theo and the helmet, you can't have the Zuni Mask versions of these on, so you kind of need Ring of Royal Grandeur. And I use Stone of Jordan for my off ring that's not Zuni Mask. Now, as you see, Leoric's Signet does put up my damage by a lot, but as far as I know, they don't make Stone of Jordan anymore. It will not roll with this high of elite damage. This plus 30% damage to elites is a shit ton. That does not roll anymore. I couldn't, even though I already rolled for a socket in this, before I rolled for the socket, I couldn't re-roll the plus 30% damage to elites. I couldn't even get that if I rolled another thing. So I had another Stone of Jordan, it wouldn't roll that, and it wouldn't roll nearly that high, so I'm assuming they removed that from the game. So if you have this, use it. Trust me, use it. And then I found this yesterday. This one could be very interesting. You deal 200% or 260% increased damage to enemies affected by both Haunt and Locust Swarm. Now, that's a lot of mana, right? Locust Swarm is what, 300? So that's an instance where if you really want to go for this rank and you want to just destroy people with tons of damage, it does do a lot of damage if you can get people with this. But you basically have to spam Locust Swarm and Haunt, and as far as I can tell, enemies don't really live long enough for this to be effective for me. But if you're going to do that, then you're going to want to go back to utility, take it off area damage, and put resource cost reduction, because otherwise you're shit out of luck when you try to cast Locust Swarm 3, 4, 5 times. That's 1200 mana. You know what I mean? It's not going to happen. So, let's go to passives. I have Swampland, Atonement. You and your pets gain 120 resistance to basically everything for every enemy within 20 yards. I think that's a necessity. That's going to dramatically increase your survivability, especially because you need Pierce the Veil on. All your damage increased by 20%, but your mana costs are increased by 30%. So that's going to kind of make it so your skills can't take a little bit longer because you're using a lot more mana. So you need something to survive a little bit longer to really get the full effect of Pierce the Veil. Then I have Grave Injustice. Gain 1% of your maximum life and mana, and reduce the cooldown of all skills by 1 second when an enemy dies within 20 yards. That basically makes it so my Big Bad Voodoo is never on cooldown, because I have the Star Metal Kukri, reduce the cooldown of Fetish Army Big Bad Voodoo by 1 second for each time your fetishes deal damage, with the 50% increased attack speed. With the piercing darts and all 5 of them, they reduce the cooldown to nothing in a second anyways, and then this just kind of like icing on the cake for all my other skills, as well as the 1% life and mana, so that's good. And then the last thing I have is Confidence Ritual. You deal 25% additional damage to enemies within 20 yards. Yeah. I don't really see any other passive skill really increasing damage by as much as what that can do, so I think it's kind of a no-brainer at that point. But, you know, as always, leave your suggestions down below. If you guys have something that's absolutely game-breaking, you know I want to know about it, and I want to make a video about it, and let's all break the game together, right, guys? That's kind of where I'm at. So, I think we're just going to finish off this rift, since we've been talking for a bit. I do enjoy these types of videos, though, because it gives me a chance to interact with you guys, and hopefully, if I can just help at least one of you guys out, that's all completely worth it for me. So, I do appreciate the support that you guys have been giving me on these Diablo videos. It's pretty freaking awesome. And I did reply to someone's comment before, but if you guys didn't see that or something like that, I do obviously have a new mic now. That was one of the big things that I said at the beginning of this video. That means that I'm going to be recording a lot more videos now. So, you know, YouTube's not a full-time job for me, like I've said many, many times, so it's really difficult for me to get out a video a day, but I try very hard. And I know that they're not, you know, the highest quality videos because I don't have an editor. I don't have a publisher. You know, I record them, and I try to make them as entertaining as possible. I try to add little effects here and there, but, you know, that shit takes a long time. And I work a full-time job, so it's very difficult for me to put out a video every day. So, you know, long story short, the old microphone made it that much more difficult because it cut out at random times. I literally had to listen to every second of my recorded videos 3-4 times sometimes just to make sure that I didn't have any, you know, low quality mess ups in there. Of course I'm gonna miss some because I'm not perfect, but I tried really hard because I want to deliver a high quality product to you guys. Obviously not that I'm selling anything, but you guys know what I mean. I enjoy doing this, and I want to make it so you guys enjoy watching it. Otherwise, the hell's the point? Go, go, go. So as you see, my darts are piercing and killing, and shield pylon is very nice. Thank you game. Let's go, let's go. Alright, alright. Dang it, it's all the way over there. Come on. Oh, might as well pick this up. Yes. Do. Alright, ooh, experience thing. I like that. Can never go wrong with more experience, right? Always pick that shit up when you see it. Alright, okay, great. Have to go into a 3rd level. Just wonderful. Come on. What the hell is that supposed to do? When everyone has magical powers, you really think a wooden barricade is gonna do jack shit? Oh my god, see, that was all me right there. That's why this build is so fucking good. That was me not any of my pets, but the primary skill hitting that guy, and that was my area damage going off, in case you guys didn't see that. So I hit that guy for, you know, 4.7 billion damage, and then my area damage went off, and I hit that guy again for, you know, 2.5 billion damage. He just died instantly. That was all me. So that's where Simplicity Strength really comes in. Hopefully you guys are still watching at this point so you can actually see that go off. That's why Simplicity Strength is freaking baller as shit. Because when it does go off, and when you hit with the perfect criticals and you hit the perfect storm of damage, you just do a shit ton of damage. Alright. Oh, this boss is gonna die in like one... I'm gonna give him like 3 seconds. I'm gonna give the boss 3 seconds, depending on how many other enemies are around. Because it might spread out my... I'm giving him 3 seconds here. Oh, was it 3? Was it? Did he outlast me? I don't know if he did or not. I don't think he did. So we're gonna say 3 seconds or less. He got fucked up. Oh, so did that guy. Enemy over there. There's enemies everywhere. You're just now telling me this? You're a useless fucking companion. All right, guys. Well,
my bags are full.
My bags are full. Oh, probably from the blood shards. So. I'm going to leave this video off here. As always, guys, if you liked it, smack a like on that button. If you're new, subscribe. Check back later. Check my other shit out. Leave a comment below if you have any questions, if you need some help. I try to get around to helping you guys as much as possible. If I've added you to my friends list because I said I would help you, and you see me online and I haven't helped you yet, float me a message, send me an invite. I will almost always help you guys out. You know, when I have time, I will always help you guys out. But at that particular moment, I will try my hardest. Sometimes I'm recording a video, so if I don't respond to a message or something like that, I'm not ignoring you. I'm most likely recording a video. So, like I said, drop a like on the video. Follow me on Twitter at AButtonGames. I need more people to follow me, so when I tell you guys what I'm doing, you guys will know about it. And until next time, guys, thanks so much for the support, and see you guys